Di. I attended Vidcon for the first time this year, and I got to record some of Philip DeFranco's Q&A. I got 18 minutes of it, and I wanted to share it with you. My name is Di. I make videos twice a week, and I have lots of Vidcon footage, so don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. God bless.
What is up, everybody? And welcome to Vidcon 2017. Is everybody having a great time? Yay! Alright, so I'm going to do this so fast because I want to get Phil out here so that we can get through your questions, answer as many as possible. We're just going to rush it through. We're not going to rush it. It's going to be fun, right? Calm down, right, sir? Just cool it. Alright, guys, welcome the man, the myth, and the legend of Philip DeFranco!
Hello, are you about to run away?
I just want to steal your spotlight.
Thank you. This is going to look so lonely up here. I want to say, thank you for coming out. I know that it's a Friday, it's 9:30. I know a lot of people might be a little bit hungover, although the audience is younger and younger, or I'm older and older, I can't tell. Steve Zaragoza is going to hop out right around, I think, front and center. So front and center, and we're going to take questions both using the hashtag. There we go. And also in the line, whenever Steve figures out how to get out from the back. Oh, there he is. There you are, Zaragoza.
Yeah, so we're gonna start the line here. So if you guys want to anyone that wants to ask questions, we're gonna line up, and the line's gonna go straight off this way. And so Ryan the stage manager here. Big applause for Ryan the stage manager, please. He's gonna be your go-to guy for figuring out this line. But it looks like you guys are doing it already, so this is awesome.
Look at that, so fast.
Look at this beautiful audience, Phil.
I know you're like, we have to prep a few Twitter questions because they're going to take a little time to set up. No.
Oh no, we've got Twitter questions already. Did you give them the hashtag? It's right there.
No doubt.
Yeah, but some people might not see it. How? Just, the tall man sitting in the front.
True.
You know how it goes.
That's right.
Alright, so Phil, I loaded up a first question for you from Twitter.
Okay.
Using that hashtag #AskPhilipDeFranco. And Jess, @GentleJess. Are you here, Gentle Jess?
Hello, Gentle Jess.
Well, maybe not. She's just a dream. Oh, Gentle Jess is over there? Okay. She asks, Phil DeFranco, what's your opinion on the commercialization of YouTube in recent years compared to old school YouTube?
Okay, no, that's a good question. I think it's an appropriate question because I think it's the largest VidCon so far. I've gone to, 8 now? Jeez. So 8 now, and everyone always says, remember when it was back in that shitty hotel, and it was a nice hotel, but there was only 150 of us with this hope that it was going to become something else, and every year, no matter how little of a part we are of either VidCon or of YouTube in general, it's amazing to see. I think there are a lot of people that they romanticize the past of remember when it used to be more one-on-one, but it was also remember when we couldn't pay rent? That's not a thing that I romanticize. So I'm happy about it, but as long as YouTube has to remember that the creators matter, right? And there are people at YouTube that do understand that, they do believe that, but it's such a large company, and they get a lot of views from, and not to say that it's a bad thing, but the Katy Perrys, the Kevin Harts, the mainstream guys that are now coming here. So the way that I like it is those guys are helping validate it to people that aren't in the know like you guys are, and it helps us grow, helps us become more of a real thing to the people that don't appreciate it. But also, as time goes on, we have stars that are 12 years old, 13 years old, that are just growing up with the platform. There's gonna come a day where there's a 4-year-old guy that's like, yeah, I've been watching YouTube for 20 years. This is just the beginning of the new normal. So I'm a big fan of it, just because it makes it more stable, and it makes it so that we can accomplish a lot more. Cool?
Wonderful. All right, so I'm gonna stand here.
This is so weird.
I'm gonna be right here. Yeah, there you go. That's better. And then just if you want to bring the first live question here, and then I'll keep checking Twitter for those of you who are kind of like, I don't want to be on that damn camera.
I gotta keep the cameraman busy.
Yeah. Okay, so hello, I know you. But listen.
Oh, hello again.
Do you know this lovely person?
Every year. Love your face.
What was your name for the audience?
Triviaism.
Triviaism, everybody. And what is your question, Triviaism?
Okay, so someone who is a broke-ass college kid, what do you recommend to partake in Patreon for?
Wait,
How much can I partake?
Can you boost that microphone? I can't hear.
Yeah, let's just get let's boost it.
As someone who's a broke-ass college kid,
Yes.
who cannot partake in Patreon,
Yes.
but wants to,
Okay.
how much should I partake in and what's the best perk available?
So wait, what's the best perk available and then what was that for it?
What's the best perk available?
What's the best perk
And
available?
for someone who's broke, how would you best participate in like a Patreon crowdfunding type thing?
So
For you to participate.
as a supporter.
Yes.
So that's kind of been our thing. I think a lot of people want to support. As a former broke-ass college kid, I 100% understand. That's why also we have those broke-ass college kid sales, so we can get stuff out to people that really support, don't have the cash because life. What we're working on, and it's not finalized yet, we're working on trying to set up a trial period for a lot of people, and also potentially in the future starting lower tiers, but just being able to. My big goal isn't to put anything behind a wall, and if someone's not supporting on Patreon, I don't view them as like a lesser supporter. It's like this weird balance of how do I give someone a perk or benefit, but then don't feel like I'm holding out on the 970,000 other people that aren't or can't. So I'm figuring it out. It's all very new, but when we launched Franco League, when we launched our Patreon, that was like we made the video, but we didn't know if we were going to be able to post it that day or if it was going to be 3 months from now. So we kind of just pulled the trigger as fast as possible. So I think the best way to support, if you're not talking about the perks, is just share. Liking and sharing. I mean, there's a reason every YouTuber says it. It's us getting in front of more people, hopefully because you actually like us and you want to, especially with the content we put out, that we're trying to be a rational voice in an irrational world. That's the best way. And then the perks. I mean, our lowest tier, it's exclusive content, it's early access, massive discounts, and private discourse.
About me, I'm an active duty Air Force mechanic. Every time I've been watching your videos.
Thank you.
And one of the things they don't tell you about Afghanistan is that sure you get attacked, sure you get murdered, but they don't tell you about the tedium and how you can lose yourself in a day and eventually you forget what day it is. And it's kind of terrible.
Right.
And I can't thank you enough for the videos that you put out, because that was my clock that I used to tell what day it was, or what even the date was, because I had no idea. And I just really appreciate it. And I brought something for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if I can give it to you.
Yeah, let's do it. Of course.
What is it?
Military coins.
Oh my god!
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever gotten them.
Wow!
Let's start into the stage now.
So, I don't want to say what you're working on, but if you look at it, you can tell.
That's awesome.
So yeah, boss.
That means a lot. Oh, that way. Alright, I'm gonna disappear. I said I'm gonna disappear in the back, but I will come back out. You didn't scare me away. I was like, I don't want to do this really weird crawl up thing. I'm not in shape.
Let's give it up for Zach, guys.
I was talking to Bernie the other day, and you never want to feel disingenuous of just like follow your dream. You're 100% going to accomplish it. No, the hard work just makes it more likely. Oh, you're okay. I love you.
I'm sorry, I'm freaking out. I'm not used to being around YouTubers. Like I said, I'm from Toronto, and every YouTuber from Toronto has moved here.
Did you bring
ketchup chips?
Oh,
I unfortunately couldn't. I'm sorry, guys. I know I let you guys down.
Next question.
no, but I mean, it's, so what I'd say is obviously, in the beginning, I never recommend someone doing the blind leap, right? I'm just gonna, I did the blind leap and it was a horrifying year and a half of not knowing where I was gonna live, living in my car for a little bit. So I would say, dabble in it first. Make sure that before you jump, that at least the first step is a little safer than it would normally be. And then consistency. A lot of people, and that's the thing, is when I see people coming out of the gate going, I'm gonna do vlogs 7 days a week. And I'm like, good luck getting past 3 weeks. That's hard. It's hard. There's certain days you're just like, I don't want to be creative. I don't want to be a human being. I can't put it out. Even though, in general, a vlog at its core should be one of the easiest things in the world. As long as you're not trying to do 80 drone shots and every crazy little thing. It should be simple. So it's kind of just think of it as a marathon. Because if you go in on a sprint, I've been doing this 10 years. The burnout rate it's insane. Because there's more support systems out there, you're seeing the burnout a little less. But people, YouTubers in general, creators in general, are their own worst enemies. So just think of it as like you're getting prepped for a marathon and be safe about it. Cool.
Thank you so much, Phil.
With the box of stuff. We never really found out what the box was because we were mainly like, how did you find us, and also how did you bypass the locks? But that's so rare. It's so rare. Most 99.9% of the interactions are always good. They're always good. Everyone's just, thank you, I appreciate what you're doing, or I've been trying to do this for a long time and it's inspired me to do blank. So it's hard to find that. Also because any of the awkward interactions, it's just because someone is nervous and they're excited, and I've been in that person's shoes, and I will whenever possible bend over backwards to make it not an awkward or weird experience, because at my first VidCon, I had plenty of those. I was that guy. I was like Weird Phil to a few top creators. So there's not, I wish I had like a crazy story, but that's really it. It was, the thing we showed in the vlog was one of the biggest outliers, because in general, people are respectful. But yeah, I wish I had something like, and then you'll never guess what happened. But no,
Click to learn more.
not clickbait.
I clickbait.
Thank you so much for your question.
Thanks, Singer. Alright, what's your name?
My name is Jack.
Jack!
Jack, give it up for Jack.
Give it up for Jack. What's your question, Jack?
How did you get the idea to start YouTube?
Start on YouTube. I was very bored and very poor. I could, yeah, bored. It's nice to think back fondly about that, not to live it ever. No, it was that. I was in college. I was trying to be. I'm gonna sit down. I feel like I'm too high for you. I was in college.
Basically.
Bring it in, family. I was in college. I was really bored. I was in the pre-med program because my dad for 18 years told me that I definitely wanted to be a doctor, and I was super pumped about it. I was not, and I was also not smart enough, and I was not in it for the right reasons. And so I couldn't go out and do anything because I didn't have any money. And so I started, all of a sudden I found YouTube because of a creator called Lonely Girl 15, right? There's like people that still remember just when I was in that whole ordeal. But so I started watching her, I started watching a few people, and I want to be a part of it. I figured, and I feel like I have to be like, no offense, but the same thing that when people watch me or watch someone else, they're like, this idiot can do it, I can do it. Hello, I saw you wave, don't worry, I see you. We have a connection. And so that was really it. I was bored, and I didn't have any money. I had to code a website for a charity to get my first webcam, which shot 320 by 240. The whole reason my videos back in the day were black and white was because it would make it seem less pixelated, because it was really bad quality. And that was really it. I mean, I think whenever people jump into it, whenever you jump into it, I don't know if are you making stuff now? No. So if you do ever make that jump, it should be based off of what you like to watch and what you would actually watch personally. That's the best, that's the most enjoyable thing. It might not feel like it's paying off in the beginning, but that's 100% the best thing to do. I got into it because I was bored and I was looking for something to love or to latch onto, and even if it hadn't blown up, I would do it in some way just to connect. So I recommend. Interesting, because doing this so long, it lends itself to kind of making you cold. Even if it's just, you see it every day and you try and tell yourself that you get numb to it because you see it so much. But the problem is, the way that I go into stories is I always go, what's the net emotional impact of this story, right? And what I personally found, while a lot of stories still affect me, anything with kids always hurts me. That's always been the case, just because, like, growing up, I had friends that were like hurt or in bad situations. I mean, based off my childhood personal experiences and seeing the way friends went, like, I think one of the ones that messed me up as far as a non-death story was the Daddy of Five story, right? And that one, a lot of people said, like, how do you keep it calm? And it's because I'm raging inside. I'm so angry, but I know that it's more important to have a valid, something that seems like a well thought out, calm argument, rather than letting everyone else have their completely rational emotional response. So I'd say anything with kids, I try to keep it as collected as possible, but you guys know that I'm not just like a robot, right? The stories should make us feel something. It's why we're talking. So, I don't know, I'll never shy away from those things. I get a little scared because there are people that cover it to sensationalize and get views off of it, but it's important to remember that there's real horrible stuff that's happening. We need to talk about it, even if it's scary, it makes us angry, or if it makes me want to cry while I'm talking about it. But yeah, I'd say, the moment I think that those stories stop impacting me, I need to take a break, because then I've gone too far.
Phil, I have Sky.
Hi, Sky.
What's your question for Phil, Sky?
Well, first off, I'm a very proud, beautiful pastor.
Thank you.
I've been watching you since you were pixelated film. I'm a trauma. I've seen a lot of military coups and atrocities around the world. When you launch your news network, is there a place where people like I've captured a story we can turn it into to meet global people?
So I think that's a great question. I think that we definitely want to have those people that we send. I think the first step for us is going to be engaging with communities that already live there. People that live that life that has been potentially flipped upside down. Seeing local, on the ground, and more importantly, raw footage before we send people. But that's also because, as I'm building this up, I'm talking to more and more people from established media that have done those things, because I always say, like, one of my best assets as far as traits is knowing where I don't know anything, right? Where I